This August will mark 20 years since Hurricane Katrina, and we're taking a look back at how the storm changed New Orleans. That includes historic figures who became household names during that time.
Yeah, people like former Jefferson Parish President Broussard. He sat down with Katie Moore for a no-holds-barred interview about Katrina and much more.
When you saw that thing on satellite, how big and ferocious that it looked, and realized that it was pinpointed, for New Orleans. That was a horrible feeling because you realized that that was bigger than anything the city had ever faced in its history.
The aftermath got real quick, especially in neighboring New Orleans. Obviously, New Orleans was a different situation than Jefferson Parish. And what was it like working with Mayor Nagin at the time?
Well, there really wasn't a lot of working together. Katrina knocked out communication. And so there wasn't a lot of phone communication going back and forth. We were kind of like two different worlds operating within our own sphere about what problems we were dealing with. Some things that I did, I think irritated him, but there were things that I had to do. When the levee broke on the 17th Street Canal, we never got a call from anybody in New Orleans saying, oh, by the way, the levee broke, you better start bracing up for all this water that's coming through. I built a dam on Airline Highway right where the highway comes through so that the water, I could stall the water from getting into Jefferson Parish so I could pump out all of the water that had come along the Old Metairie area, all the way over to where the underpass is by the railroad track, by the old Swagmans. All of that was underwater. And I couldn't start pumping out the water if I had to pump out New Orleans as well. So I put a dam up. Mayor Nagin said that was kind of played the race card on that and said, I'm trying to keep people out of Jefferson Parish when Metairie Road was still open and River Road was open, so that wasn't the case.
Some of those problems Metairie residents blame on Broussard. Pump station operators at the drainage pumps were evacuated to Washington Parish to ride out Katrina, leading to flooded homes in a large swath of the East Bank.
If I made the wrong decision and somebody died in one of these pumping stations, sir, I would never forgive myself.
Many still call it the Broussard flood. What do you say to people who say to you that you caused some of the problem?
Well, I let that happen in a way. I let them say what they want to say. The facts of the matter may prove differently, but it's a responsibility of leadership that you have to take the arrows in the chest.
Yet that cloud Broussard feels he largely lifted by getting funding to armor the pump stations with safe houses for operators in future storms. Federal help that many would say came too late.
Where is my country? Where is my president? Where are the agencies? Where the hell are they?
During the storm and in the weeks that followed, both Broussard and Nagin became household names for a time as they begged for help on WWL radio.
You would have thought we were persona non grata. I mean, at one point on WWL radio, they were embedded in our emergency center. I got on the air and say, look, I'm tired of being ignored without the things that we need, common supplies, resources, first aid. I said, I'm withdrawing Jefferson Parish from the United States of America. I'm declaring we're an independent country. Jefferpotamia. I said, now, is Jefferpotamia a third world country? I said, we are in emergency need of water and food and supplies and help. So now I'm expecting the same instant resources that I've seen all over the world. I burned George Bush's ears so badly on national TV over and over again. I was just outspoken in my feeling that we were the most abandoned Americans on American soil.
Now, he says, he feels the increased storm protection for the coast's increased vulnerability is a positive outcome. And after a lifelong career in politics, one tainted by a federal prison term for a corruption conviction, that's what Broussard is hoping people focus on as his legacy, the outcomes he left behind.
And tomorrow, Katie asked Broussard about his personal and his professional life since the storm, and that includes his time in prison. Now, you won't want to miss it. Again, that's tomorrow at 10.